Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out to the student body. Okay, students, we are in our second week. We just had a magnificent holiday, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. I had some rest. But I did have my office hours open, and I met with a student today and helped that student out. So that made me feel a little good. With that being said, now tomorrow is Tuesday, or today is Tuesday. I'm actually up real late working. You guys don't know how hard it is to work this work. But anyway, so what I'm about to do and what I'm about to start, today is the 21st, and I'm about to push out what I call the 100 days of packet tracers. So what do 100 days of packet tracer mean? Well, 100 days of packet tracer is for 100 days, every day I'm going to do a packet tracer. Packet tracers I'm going to do is a blend of two classes. It's a blend of first class, which is CNS 105, and also a blend of CNS 141. And for those of you who don't know what 105 is, which you should know, let me get to the point. Network Essentials. And CNS 141 is Cisco Introduction to Networks. My goal is to show you how simple and easy it is to actually come in here and do this work. I just sent you a video log on how to upload the files and get them to me. This here is how I actually want you to be able to realize this is not hard work. This career is dynamic. And when I sent out my third what I call discussion question, it'll be about talking about the industry, how much money you can make in the industry, and so on, vis-a-vis certifications, certificates, degrees. I want to give you a whole lowdown of what this field is all about. So I'm sending this out to you guys right now so you can be able to see, hey, the professor is putting in 100 days of packet tracer. Maybe I can start getting my work done a little earlier. Hint, hint, a little earlier. Get your work done a little earlier. I know I'm having fun, guys. I know how it is. But with that being said, I want you to hold me to it. So today is the 21st, and I want you to make me accountable. Meaning, hey, professor, you said you was going to do a packet tracer every day. Where's the packet tracer? Why you ain't sending a packet tracer in? So don't let me lack up or slack up or fall back. You pointed out to me that, hey, professor, you say you was going to be on top of them packet tracers. Now, I know some of you going to really point it out to me because you're going to want to see how I do the packet tracers. So you can just say, oh, I'm just going to follow along with the professor. Okay, enough fun being said. Now, it's going to be different. It's going to be 3 different classes. I know I said earlier that it's going to be 2, CNS 105, CNS 141, but I'm going to bring in another class, and that's a security class. So if you look at these packet tracers right here, when you see me doing a packet tracer with 4 numbers, 444, you know that I'm doing a security packet tracer. But when you see me doing packet tracer with 3 numbers, you know that's either 105 or 141. So if you see something like 1.5.5, that's a 141 right there. I mean, that's a 105. But 1.5.7, that's a 141. Now these are actually the same thing. So one of these I'm going to get rid of because I don't need it. I'm not going to do duplicate packet tracers. Okay, so I'm going to make sure of that. If it's the same thing that's in 141 and then the same thing that's in 105, I'm going to make sure. But you're going to see close to the end, these packet tracers with the 4 numbers, you're going to see them close to the end, and they security packet tracers. So I do want to start introduce you to it, security, more robust. All you have to do is follow along. I'm going to put it into my YouTube page. I'm going to email you. So you're going to see it, and I'm just going to say, hey, here's a packet tracer I'm working on. Tell me what you think about it. And that's basically it. Hopefully you'll subscribe so you can see how this work is done. My My whole objective in 2025 is to show you how easy it is to get into the IT industry. I know people always say, oh, it's hard to get a job out here. But with our industry, it's based on your skill set. Quite a few more things, but basically based on your skill set. So let's get to work now. Let's go ahead and do a packet tracer. So I'm going to go ahead and open this packet tracer up. And tell me what you think about it. Now, this is not going to be a discussion question or anything like that. It's just something I'm going to send you just to show you every day how I get through this work. Let me move my little head so it don't look weird. But every day, I'm going to show you how I get through this work. And I'm going to show you little tricks to the game, how we play it. Every section, every packet tracer, you're going to see a new type of trick to the game that I use to be magnificent in this field. And I want you to get in the habit. We're going to talk about things like Chat GPT. I'm going to show you different other applications that got to do with AI. I want you guys to be ready when you step out there. And if this is not the field that you're going in, don't worry. Sit back, watch, listen, learn. And I like to say this to the people who may not be going in this field. It's always good to have something in your pocket just in case the field you're going into may not work. So knowing IT definitely can help you get a job. Or it can be a hustle, a side hustle. In our industry, you find so many people with this skill doing side hustles, making a little extra money. Like if you want to go on a trip somewhere, you work a job for a little while, get that extra cash and go out and go on a trip. Many of us do it, and that's how we do it. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to open up one of these free applications that allows me to work in Word. You saw me work in Microsoft Word, but I'm using a different computer. And on this computer, I like to use these free applications. Not that I'm cheap, people, don't say that. But because I want to get people used to the fact that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to use these tools. So 2 Word applications that I have on my desktop. As you can see right here, this is Office, Open Office right here. And another one on here, where is it at? Let's look for it. It's on here somewhere. But these applications right here, these applications allow you to use Word for free. I mean, they were word processing applications. So I'm gonna click on this one here because I'm gonna drop some stuff in there. And as you can see, it's all type of spreadsheets, presentations, and so on and so forth. Now, these applications are free and they work just like Microsoft Word. So if you're a student, here go your first hint. If you're a student and you ain't got money to buy Microsoft Office, which is a lot of money, then you can work with this here, this absolutely free. Now, I know a lot of you go to Google and use Google for their particular application, but just know that it's free application here. And I will show you at the end of this session how you can go get this free application, okay? And a lot of other free applications. Yeah, the professor gonna continually give you good ideas and hints. So let's go ahead and open that up. Okay, so as you can see, it's set up just like Word. So we're gonna work with that. I'm gonna leave it just like that, and then I'm gonna go back to the packet tracer. Now, I use this little trick to pull out the packet tracer into a particular document. So I'm gonna copy that, and I know you already know this. I'm not saying anything you don't know. And I'm gonna go down here and click on the application and paste it in there. Now, like I said before, this is not really stealing because I'm only using it to get notes and stuff like that. So if somebody say, Professor, you look like you're stealing from Cisco. Nah, I'm not stealing from Cisco. I'm not finna go out and sell this to no one. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. But I'm using this to make it easy for me. I can actually blow this up and make it a lot better to see. You see? You go instead of looking at that packet tracer. Now, I like to have this read. I have a reader and stuff like that. It's multiple ways that I do that. Now, if I was working in Word, I can just go to a certain session up here where it says format and play the reader here. This tool, I don't know if it has it. I haven't invested that much into this tool, but I know this document backwards and forwards, so I'm not going to have to really read it out. But a couple of things I want to point out in this particular document, and that's the first line here. I talked about it before in my last session, but since I'm doing a packet tracer every day, I decided to start with this. Excuse me while I get a drink. I know when you're putting stuff on YouTube, you shouldn't do that, but hey, I'm a different type of person and I'm a different type of character. Okay, it says here, the network module in this activity incorporates many of the technologies that you will master in the CCNA studies. So when it says CCNA, you automatically know that this is a packet tracer that's for CCNA. That's the 141, but it's the same packet tracer that CNS 105 is doing. It's just saying CCNA for there, okay? But just know that's how we're gonna know the difference between the two. But understand, some of them overlap, people, because these are two introductory classes. Okay, then it says it represents a simplified version of how a simple to modern business network might look. No, it doesn't. It's not near how a real business will look, but it gives you an opportunity to look behind the wall. Dorothy, what's behind the curtain? It gives you that opportunity to look behind the wall. So I wouldn't say, I don't want you to go into thinking that this is how a real network is set up. If I click right here on this here, is a semi-representation of a network. That's what they should have said. And you can see you have a home office, you have the central office, and you have a branch office. And it has multiple things in here. My thing with this is that you want to make sure that I blew it up just in case somebody want to know what just happened. I just made it bigger. You want to make sure that you get that understanding. Now, in this particular packet tracer, it asks you a bunch of questions, and you may say, a student emailed me and said, hey, Professor, the first packet tracer just asked a bunch of questions. I mean, I didn't know what to do. But it's a reason I'm having you do this packet tracer, because you have to do things in this packet tracer. In this particular packet tracer, though, it's got a couple of tricks, and I'm going to tell you what the tricks are at. See this where it says challenge question? Always, let me say that again. Always, let me say that again. Always do your challenge questions, because your challenge questions is going to have you demonstrate that you know what you're doing. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going to shoot through this real quick. It says here, without entering into the internet cloud or intranet cloud, how many icons in the topology represent endpoint devices? So if I click over here to the actual packet tracer, if I'm looking in here and we understanding what they're asking for when they ask you that question, it says without counting the two clouds, how many icons in the topology represent intermediate devices. They want to know how many intermediate devices, how many end devices. They want to know end devices. And I'm just skimming this packet tracer because it's just asking you a bunch of questions. So you get to count them. So if I want to count the intermediate devices, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can jump over here 7. I can jump right here 8, 9. So I can say officially it's 9 without looking at this right here. If I want to know end devices, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 end devices. So you just want to, this is just teaching you what's the difference between intermediate devices and what's the difference between end devices, and so on and so forth. So when it asks you these particular questions, you know that it's just trying to make sure you understand. Now, when we get to the challenge question, that's when the challenge question becomes really important. And that's why I tell people this is when you need to pay attention. So I just shrunk it back down. I'm going to go to a challenge question. So in the challenge question, it says here basically add an end device to the topology. That's when you come in here, and this is what I'm going to be looking for. you're going to come down here to End Devices, and you're going to make sure you click on End Device, and then you're going to take an End Device out of here and move it over here. Now, I put it on a desktop, but I want to add it to one of these. So I can take it and add it in here, and I have to get to that particular switch. Now I can put it right there, I can put it here, I can put it here, I can put it here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there, and then I'm gonna go get that lightning rod, click on that, and then I'm gonna choose the appropriate cord to click in there and connect it. So it's a fast Ethernet. I'm gonna click on that. Let me do that again, fast Ethernet, and then I'm gonna move it here and click here and just choose one of that. And you see it's green. You see it's connected. Now, if I do the same thing by going back over here and getting another laptop and I put it up here, now watch the difference between this here. I'm gonna go to my little lightning rod, choose this, and then I'm gonna click here, fast Ethernet, and I'm gonna click right there, and I'm gonna choose one of them ports. Well, it's not really showing green. You got that umbral, if I'm saying that right, and if I fast track it, it's still gonna show that because it's not green. So I'm gonna be looking for little things like that in the challenge question to see that you did this. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. In here it says here, add a new intermediate device to the network and connect it to the LAN and WAN. So we already know how to add devices. This time we're going to add a new intermediate device. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click right here. And I'm going to just take a router out. Why not a router? And I'm going to put it somewhere here. It says add it to a network. I'm going to put it in this network. Okay. Now I can connect it, but let's see if it wants me to connect that router. It'll do it, just want me to add it. It says add a new intermediate device to one of the networks and connect it to one of the LAN and WANs with a media connection. What else does this device need to serve as a intermediate device? Well, I'm gonna flip back. If I put that right here, first thing it needs is to be able to connect. So I am gonna, which one should I do? Should I do RJ? Should I do serial? I could do a serial right here, as you can see. So when I put my mouse point on here, right here is where you're gonna see the words at, okay? But I can do serial, or I can do a regular copper straight through. I'm gonna go ahead and do the copper straight through. I'm gonna click on it, and since it's a copper straight through, I'm gonna go ahead and click 0, and I'm gonna come over here and click it there. As you can see, this is not working. Now, what else do I have to do to get that to work? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I just wanted to show you what I'm gonna be looking for when you turn in this particular lab. Now, of course, I'm gonna save the lab by clicking file. And when I click file, I'm gonna save it as a PKZ. And I'm gonna add my name to the end of it because that's what should happen. My name should be added to the end. And of course, I'm gonna put it on the desktop because it's gonna demonstrate that I completed this. So I'm gonna make sure I got desktop highlighted. And I'm gonna click save. And then I'm just going to click on that box. It proceeds to save the document. And then I'm going to close it and I'm going to say no. Now, this I don't need, but I'm just going to shrink it down for now. But you can see I got two beautiful packet tracers right here. Both of them right here, different colors. Now, you know, all you have to do is just upload one of them. I don't need both of them, but you can upload one of them. So this is Professor Systrunk. As you can see, I have my kitchen behind me if you can see it. But you can see that I'm doing this. Remember, guys, 100 days of packet tracers so we all can be on the same page. I just did my first one, and I'm going to take this first one and drop it in here. Make sure I don't mix it with all the rest of them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in there. I'm gonna drop both of them in there, and they're in there, and you can see it. Now you gonna upload it to me. You gonna keep a copy for yourself, but you're going to upload the original when you make the change and save the name to me. Okay, this is Professor Sistrunk. I enjoyed this time with you. Today is the 21st. Let's count them down. Bye-bye.